This week on Gran Turismo, we've got Mazda Racing at Road Atlanta. Daily Race B, I have a date with Barrier. And in Daily Race C, well, we're on the Mulsanne, traveling 230 miles an hour. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2025 week 2. And yes, it is week 2. I saw the comment about week 1. No, this is the second full week of dailies or weekly races, and we're at Road Atlanta, like the time trial, and we're in a Mazda MX-5, or as Gran Turismo like to call it, the Roadster. But even so, we are here. We're doing 4 laps, a rolling start, comfort soft tyres, times 1 fuel and tyre wear, and the DR updates are off. So you don't have to worry about your driver rating going up or down. And I'm going to take full advantage of that later today. And you will see why in a future video. But for now, we're going to talk about the timestamps, because some of you will not like this race at all. But I believe most of you will, because it's good fun, this one. Even so, if you want to jump to Daily Race B or Race C respectively, you can use those timestamps right there, or on the old bar down below on the video. You can skip there as well. It should be in chapters. You can just skip as you wish. Right, back to Daily Race A then. We've used this track 13 times. We've used Road Atlanta. It's a very common track. 28th of October was the last time we used it. All the other information, obviously, we've not really used this car before. In terms of issues, though, the slight taps are guaranteed. A bit of door bashing will happen with these MX-5s. And brake oversteer. This car loves the rear end to swap round when you hit the brakes. So just be careful, and I'll explain how to control that in the lap guide. Let's jump into this first one, and this race, oh my word, is fantastic. So get your popcorn ready. Right, who is in this race? So we've got German Kiwi in pole. You said hello in the lobby. Hello to you. And some familiar names there as well. It's like P6. Somebody else wanted to qualify. An okayish rolling start. Everyone starts in a straight line. I suspect the guy at the back is going to get a bit of a boost because they're going downhill. But even so, it's all good. It brings the pack closer together, hopefully. I would have preferred a grid start for this one, if I'm honest. But even so, we'll carry on with this as we go through that dodgy left-hander, the one where most penalties will happen, as you very well know. And we continue on out of here. We've got a run on Blue Racer. Behind, we've got Sammy Stake Racing, who was going at it hard on the time trial this week. I did see you on that leaderboard. 3 wide into this right-hander we go. And we're making it work. Look at this. Fantastic racing already to kick off this one then. Sammy goes through on 2 of us. So I'm down in P7, but I'm on the outside. Gonna be in the slipstream, though, as we exit that corner. So back into P6, where I started. Even though I've gained a place, I've lost one as well. Right, slipstreaming all the way down here. There's Hoggy up ahead. We've got Mr. Rona. We've got Sabolda and Sammy in the mix here then as we go towards this chicane. Looking to speak a little bit earlier here just to make sure I don't hit anybody. And look how close this race already is. Look at the radar, by the way. There's like 6 arrows on there plus mine. Incredible stuff here on the exit then. We're still side by side. 3 wide once again here. Max Power coming through from absolutely nowhere then on the inside. And going to get 2 positions. I'm finally up to P5, I think. Maybe. Nope, down to P6 again. Still side by side with Sammy, and you've already seen how good this race is on this first lap, and we've still got 3 more to go here as we go in towards turn number 1 then, and Sammy's going to get that place, and there's a slight tap on Max Power, which unfortunately sends Sabolda off. Now I don't believe Sammy knew that is what happened there, and we will have a look at that one in the bloopers as well as we go into this right hand. Then we've got Arkies on the inside of me now. Hello to Arkies. Check them out on YouTube, of course. So we're still in P6. You know, we've done all this racing, and we've not gained anything, not a place, but we have had good fun, which is the main part of this race, and that's what I want in Gran Turismo. Fun. That's all I'm after. Now, Mr. Rona just gets that a little bit wrong through the left-hander. That's going to give Blue Racer a bit of an advantage on me because I had nowhere to go as we head towards the double right. So I'm losing another place here then as we go into here. Look at Max Power up ahead, who gained 2 places with that move at the chicane. That was brilliant on the first lap. So we are down to P7 now, slowing it down for this right-hander. Going to continue on out of here. We got a bit better run than Blue Racer there, but nothing of a significant advantage. So bump drafting is the name of the game there. And you can see here, we've got a run on Mr. Rona, so Blue Racer goes left. Now I see this lovely gap in the middle there. I'm like, oh, hello. Fits a nice MX-5, this gap, doesn't it? Right, we're going to go down the inside then. What's going to happen here? No, I brake earlier than the other 2, so I'll just back out of this one. And I'm going to try and do a Max Power, because why not? So through the right we go here. I'm going to try and get on the inside. Now, you do actually want to get on the inside very early in this particular car, because downhill will give you extra horsepower. Remember, we don't have that much anyway in this MX-5, so the extra boost is mighty helpful. Arky is trying to follow me through there. Slight tap on the car behind there. Does send them around. We'll look at that one in the bloopers as well. As we advance a bit further on here, I'm in P5. I gained 1 place. I've done that much racing and I've only gained a place. Unfortunately there, we get the wiggle through the dodgy left-hander here at Road Atlanta, and we are going to get a penalty. Like, got Max Power's got a 1 second one, so yeah, 0.5 there for us. In fact, everybody's got a penalty there. The Hoggy's got a 1 second one. Sammy Sate's got a 0.5. So go towards the inside here because I should have the advantage over Hoggy and Max Power here when we do hit the brakes. I don't really like the way this penalty system works. I remember when it got first introduced in, I think it was Paris World Live event, when we had to experience it. But even so, we do gain 2 spots. We lose one to Blue Racer, who has all Christmases come at once here. 2025 for you already, Blue Racer, and gets like 3-4 positions. Right, into turn 1 we go. We're fighting for P2 here. German Kiwi's gone at this moment in time. You're missing all the action, mate. You've had a boring race compared to us. But we're going to head up here then. They're still side by side up ahead. Sammy Sate's going to go down the inside of Blue Racer then. A bit drifty there on the exit. I'm not sure whether that's a tap or not. But even so, we're going to take advantage of that. Go up into P3 on Blue Racer as we continue down here then. And who's following me through? That's Sonic following me through there then. With a bit of a flash as well coming into this left-hander. Maybe we wanted to work together. I'm not too sure. We get it slightly wrong though, drop it below 70 miles an hour, which is a key miles per hour marker that you do need to keep an eye out for. Mario Sonic going down the inside then, wanted this podium place, but I want it too, and you can see all the racing still happening behind. 4 laps here, not enough. I reckon it should be 5 in my opinion, but even so, it's still good racing, which is exactly what we want here. Into the second right we go, still side by side. Remember what I always say as well, the slower the car, the better the racing, and this is pure evidence of that. Absolute pure evidence. We're going to head down towards the final chicane here. Now, should I have got defensive? Should I not? Well, this is the question. I was hoping to maintain an inside at the chicane. So in we go then. Sonic absolutely sends it down inside, but gets it stopped. So that turns into a beautiful move. We go towards the right side there, and there's a slight tap from there. Nothing major there at all from Huggy. I'm not sure there was an overlap there either, so it's not on me, it's not on Huggy. It's all good. It's what you expect in MX-5 racing. We head towards the finish line there. German Kiwi's already already won there. Sammy Sate there going for the old spinner Rudy at the end. We come on with P4. And you see the smile on my face. I enjoyed this race. I enjoyed it a lot. It's got a 7 out of 10. All the details down in a pinned comment below. Unless you're really early to this video, then it will be there at some point on Monday. Last time it was near midnight, but it still ended up there on Monday, okay? Right, here's a lap guide then of this track car combo. As you head towards turn 1, stay in 4th gear. And what you're going to do here is you're going to brake at the end of the pit wall. What I would advise is if you brake a little bit earlier, you're more than likely going to be able to control the car better. The later you brake, the harder you have to brake, the weight transfer shifts, more likely to spin round. Okay, so I'm in 4th gear here. Notice that I'm just letting the car do its own thing. I'm staying on throttle a little bit there to try and maintain a bit of weight over the rear wheels, and I continue on up this hill. That's not the fastest turn 1 I've done either. As we come up here then, it's flat out all the way to this point here. Now you've got billboards on the left, you've got an orange tyres on the right, or if you want to use a split sector line, you can use that, but I'm using the billboard on the left. Really clear and obvious marker. So I'm going to brake in a straight line. I'm also going to turn quite early into this corner, let the car drift a bit and stay in 4th gear. You'll notice rank 1 goes to 3rd, but that will create stability issues to stay in 4th. 4th gear is your best friend on this layout, okay? Flat out down here, it's got more freedom than the Ford Focus RS in the time trial. Actually, arguably drives better than the Focus RS as well. And as we come up to here, we're using the same marker again, the start of the curb here. You want to brake in a straight line. Now for this one, you are going to want to drop to 3rd gear, but do it late. You don't want to do it literally straight away. It could cause some oversteer. So as we come into here, I did it a bit too early there, and then I cut the inside and carry on. Do it a little bit later than I did there, and you will absolutely master it. Notice how I cut the inside early there on that turn as well. That's so that I could just run out and I'm not overturning the car. You know, if you turn a little bit less likely for the rear to try and overtake the front, should we say. The double right-hander then. On the right side, we've got the green into tarmac. That is literally your brake marker. It's always the brake marker for this corner. You know, I'll point it out every single time we've been here. But literally on the right side, hit the brakes. And again, late downshift there. Notice how much more stable it was. And absolutely fly through that corner. Full throttle. When you go to 3rd, once you've turned in, just plant your foot. The rear will continue going round very nicely. For this next one, the kink in the curb right in front of you is the best one. There is a line on the road there if you want to use that. More obvious on chase cam that you can see right now. But the kink in the curb, beautiful marker. I got that pointed out to me and I've used it ever since. Accelerate in 3rd gear out of this corner. Notice how stable it is. And you can get on throttle really early in this car because the rear will then want to rotate a little bit, but not too much. And what happens there is you get more rotation, you get out of the corner quicker, you can actually carry a bit more speed. The final corner, we're using the billboard on the right side. It's just after the 2, just before the 100 board, okay? And you can see on the right side, very clear on chase cam, like really obvious. So as your brake mark, as it hits the edge of your screen, come down to third gear. Again, brake early for this one. Turn in, accelerate through the corner. And notice now, I might lift a tiny bit. I think I did just a minuscule. Lift a bit more if you need to, but just accelerate through the corner very nicely. Remember, go to the inside quite early here. Get the benefit of the downhill section. It will speed you up that little bit, and obviously you're going for your fast lap, and that is a 44.007. A bit annoying, it's not a 43, but even so, that ghost is available on the leaderboard. I'm in a Porsche 911 now. I've jumped from a Mazda to a Porsche. I'm at Grand Valley Highway, so we're on the west coast of America. No, we're not. Yes, we are. We're on the west coast of America. 4 laps here at Gran Valley Highway, rolling start, racing hard tyres, which is a bit yucky, and we're in Group 3, so you can adjust the brake belts and bop is on. Now I chose the Porsche 911 because it's quite stable, but as you can see by the issues there, most cars are not stable, and the Porsche isn't that stable in reality, it's just more stable than others. We've used this track 7 times, 3 times for this car and track combo, and we'll last use this track on the 26th of August in 2024. Last year now, we can say, last year. I'd say it is quite slippy, this one. Weight transfer issues do exist because it's up and downhill. We're on a highway on the west coast of America. Let's jump into this one and let's have a look at all the racing action. Right, who is in this one? What have people chosen? We've got Nissan in pole there, Toyota in P2. So nobody really had any idea what to pick here. Maybe the balance is really good. And what would be really good is if you hit the like button if you are enjoying this video and subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. As you can see, I look very tired in the webcam because it's very early morning at this moment in time as we go into the break zone. So, yeah. There are occasions where I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes in this race. In every race at first thing on a Monday morning because we're all tired and we're all like, what's new? What's fun? We've had hardly any practice. But even so, we continue on here. Blue race it on the inside of Bolt Ben as we go through his right-hander. Very daring to go side by side here. And I saw it happening up ahead of me and I was trying to choose where to go here. As we go in the brakes and I go towards the left-hand side, Sammy goes down the inside here. They're 3 wide up ahead. And Sammy gets 3 places in one corner. Max Power gets 2 there. So, yeah, I really lose out on that one. Even so, we continue towards the fast left-hander. Still side by side here with Blue Racer. Looks like Nitro was looking to get on the insides there as well. But we managed to maintain some speed there. Get on the inside of Blue Racer. We gain a spot then in towards the next right-hander we go. And then the sharp left is coming up. Unfortunately for us, we get absolutely wiped out from behind there. We'll have a look at that one in the bloopers. Of course, you can see somebody waiting up there. Is Nitro. Luke Hart also apologized and said, I got hit. Which you don't have to apologize in a race. I always look at it afterwards anyway, and you can see that you crashed, etc. So it's all good. In towards turn 1 we go. I just got a little bit deep here in the Genesis. Starts to look back at me now. And you're probably going, Tidge, you're not going to see much of the race. Trust me, there's still racing to be had here. And I know what goes on in this race anyway. We've done it a couple of times here. Unfortunately, I braked way too late for that corner. I have no idea what was going on there. The car felt very odd. And Nitro Luke Hart. Well, it gets me there, the French driver in the Genesis with a very interesting livery there and lots of colours on that livery, especially on the diffuser as we go through the left-hander and the right. So we just want the car to get settled there. As we go to lap number 3 then, we've managed to get the car settled now and we are catching people up ahead as well. So we've got some racing here as we go on to the brakes and in towards this right-hander we go. This time, Nigel Luca. Oh, the track limits. Oh, yes, the track limits on this track are atrocious. Because it's white lines. It's white lines and not the actual track, which is stupid. I don't know why they designed it that way, but even so, there's Nitro Lucart with that 0.5 second penalty. Even so, I felt like I was going quicker now at this moment in time. The car had settled itself, so I wanted to get by as quick as possible. Try and catch up to Tatsuo up ahead in P12. So we go for the run out this corner then. Oh, it's the Sky livery. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. As we go in towards the left-hander then on the inside. And are we going to get this done? Yes, we are. Happy days up into P13. Not very lucky for us today, that is for sure, as we continue on through here. Is it unlucky or lucky? Unlucky for some, number 13, or lucky for some? I have no idea. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, final lap here. The hairpin once again for the 4th time of asking. We got Booming up ahead. He was a victim of a very dodgy penalty in this week's Plebs of the Week. And if you haven't seen that, watch it after this video. It's great fun. And if you've got your own clips, check out the description. There is a link in there. Submit the form and maybe your clip will feature. Tatsuo there just gets it slightly wrong through the double right. Then I had to really slam on there to avoid rear-ending them as we go through this left-hander. Alfa Romeo 4C as well. Interesting choice there by Tatsuo. Maybe your favorite car, I don't know, but it's always nice to see different cars in the Gulf livery as well. So as we go to this left-hander, I went for the run down the inside. Didn't have an overlap, but even so I scared Tatsuo into a bit of a mistake as we go into this right-hander then. Side-by-side racing here. In fact, I've gone ahead here, but unfortunately I get a bit of a wiggle, which pushes me into the barrier. You see me laughing there. We've got to laugh at our own mistakes. Tatsuo in the Alfa Romeo goes past once again here. Having a good little race here. And you can have some good racing here. I just think the racing hard tyres ruin it that little bit. If it was racing medium tyres, I feel like this race would be so much better. And that's just my opinion as well. I can see there, we don't get an advantage on the Alfa Romeo, and that's a very quick car in a straight line as well. So we head towards the line. We're going to come home in well, it was going to be P13, but Benbo decided to pit there. So we come home in P12. So we got 4.5 out of 10. Arguably, I'd say if there was medium tyres, it would have been a bit better. And I do feel this race needs to be longer. 7 minutes is not enough. Right, lap guide time here for Grand Valley Highway. I was using -5 brake balance, and you can see that in the right-hand side with that graphic that we prepared for you earlier. Say we, me. Right, the 300 board is your brake marker for turn 1. I want you to point towards the corner as you hit the brakes. You could use where the line goes straight. I've also highlighted that, but you want to point towards the corner now and brake hard as you go towards it. You're sort of V'ing it or U'ing it if you want to look at it from those perspectives. This is more of a U. And what we're looking for here is on the inside, you've got the sand there. It goes to concrete. Lovely accelerating marker that. I use it all the time. So the second that starts to leave my screen is when I want to start accelerating in this car. Now, you've got to be careful on the exit in nearly all cars. They will overstay on the exit because it is so slippy here at Grand Valley Highway. So just be careful. You may clip the barrier. Don't worry. Just keep your foot down and go down the hill. You'll catch up to your speed very quickly. As we approach this corner, turn in and do a slight lift. You are going to have to lift in most cars. Avoid going over that white line. You will get a penalty. It's very annoying. Trust me, it's a stupid track limit penalty. And on the right side there, we've got a tree. That tree, a lovely brake marker for this hairpin. Now, the further left you are, the better you're going to do this corner, because then you could turn in very nicely and use the camber of the corner as well. That's what I'm trying to do right here. Stay towards the left. I then come towards the inside, or need to. Get on the inside Tidge. There we go. And we can then use the corner and the camber on the exit there to accelerate out. The wider you are, the more likely you are going to oversteer as well there, because you've got less of the camber to use. Now, on the right side there, we've got this concrete barrier. It goes all the way around. The start of it is a lovely brake marker, also a lift-off marker. It depends on the car you're using there. But I start to dab the brakes at this point, and I'm trying to control the car through this corner. So I'm looking to slow the car down, never go to 100%. I drop the second gear, I clip the inside, and then I did short shift. I was going to say, I should short shift to third gear. You will do in most cars, just to keep the rear end stable. Now, that is not my brake marker I use. I'm just pointing out a brake marker, which is the grass at the top of the cliff. When that disappears, you could use that as a brake marker. Essentially, all I'm going to do here is get straight and then hit the brakes immediately and turn in, and that's what I want to do here. Cut a lot of the inside if you can, get as far right as possible, and on that right hand side there is the start of that fence. The start of that fence is the perfect brake mark for this left-hander. You're going to have to be patient in this corner. It's a really patient corner. If you try and accelerate really quickly, you're going to spin the car out. You have to be patient, let the car turn, let it do its thing, and then start to accelerate. Look at that, nice and easy. A little bit of a wiggle, nothing major there on the exit. Continue on here, and what we're looking for, we've got the 200 board. We're actually looking for that 100 board. And a bit like turn 1, I want you to aim towards the corner now. Don't follow the track, aim towards the corner, straight line the brake in, and then as you get towards the corner, start to release it and turn in. So when you obviously at 50% braking, you're trail braking into the corner. That's what I want you to do. Notice there, I start trail braking, and then I get the car turned instantly on the throttle there to try and balance the car over towards the left-hand side. And on that left-hand side, we've got these arrows that indicate it's a right-hander. Hopefully you've got eyes and you can see that it is a right-hander, and then you can get around nice and easy. But even so, the first arrow there on the left, it's your lift-off marker or dab the brake marker, whichever one you want to do here. So I lift off initially, I dab the brakes, I was carrying a bit too much speed, and I want to accelerate before I get to that sign or the windsock on the right-hand side. I'm pretty sure you guys told me it was a windsock. There it is, the windsock is going that way, which actually relates to the wind speed perfectly, I think. Well, well played, Gran Turismo. Happy days. Doing something right there. We continue on through here then. Accelerating out. You may suffer some power oversteer on exit. Just be careful of that and just be aware of that as we continue towards the tunnel now. What we're looking for is the 100 board once again on the left-hand side. There it is. It's highlighted. And once again, you're aiming towards the corner if you can, because you're going to be braking uphill at the end of it, which, guess what? Means you can brake that little bit better. You're going uphill. Gravity helps you brake. So that's what we want to do here. You want to release the brakes towards the end of it as well. So there, notice how I release it. I let the car roll a little bit. I'll instantly go on the throttle there to try and get the car around a little bit quicker. And on the right side, the tunnel ends and the cliff begins. That is your dab the brakes as we go left here. Now, you want to avoid touching any of the bollards or the cones because, of course, penalties are incurred if you do hit those. But literally, end of the tunnel there, dab the brakes, turn in, let the car roll a little bit. There, I clip the curb on the inside, accelerate a little bit, lift, and then accelerate again. If you go flat out as you hit the curb on the right, you're going to spin out. So lift off a little bit, carry on towards the line. That's a 47.9. Unfortunately, that isn't a ghost. It was just off the ghost at this time, but I didn't want to spend 3 hours on it, and this video will be late. So unfortunately, it's not available. It is on Delta, though, so just keep an eye out for it on there. Here we have Group 1C is what I call it here. And we've got Bop on. So we've got 5 laps at Le Mans, no chicane. So 230 miles an hour in slipstream, rolling start, racing medium tyres, tyres 1 fuel and tyre wear, and there's no pit stop. It's just a flat-out race for 5 laps. Arguably, this could have been done a little bit better, maybe, but even so. We've used this track 3 times. This is the no chicane layout. I just want to say that again, no chicane. 25th of November was the last time. The issues here, if you lose slipstream, I can't speak, and other people have it, you're going to lose out. And the Mulsanne corner can be very deadly, and I'm going to show some bloopers with that one as well. Now, the Nissan is probably the quickest car here by a country mile, so I would highly advise you going the Nissan, but the Mazda can compete as well. Let's jump into this one, and let's have a look how this race actually goes. Here we are then with this final one. You can see a lot of Nissans, a few Mazdas though, and max power just going different with the Porsche. I think that was there. Go enjoy this. As always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content. This was the first race of the day. Remember, I do daily race C first, then B, then A. So if I look tired or progressively get tired throughout this video, that's the reason why. Anyway, in towards turn 1 we go then. Everybody really getting close together here. I'm going to go around the outside, or try to at least. I get on the very outside of Laporte and just stay on that curve there. And they do see me. So fair play to you. Good sportsmanship stuff there. Just allow me to have that little bit of space as we go into this left-hander in P8 right now. Through the right we go. And notice behind here, we're going to lose them a little bit. And remember what I said at the start with the introduction of this race. Do not lose slipstream. If you lose it, well, you're going to be gone. You can see there the massive gap difference. Up ahead, Norman there just got pushed out wide here. Going to come back on the circuit. Ghosting's going to have a big impact here this week. Unfortunately, Norman gets a bit too much wheel spin on the change of gear and, well, heads towards barrier. Oh, right, in towards the left we go at Indianapolis. Through that, my voice is going here apparently, so hopefully I get to the end of this video. We go down here then, still side-by-side action. Good racing to be had here this week. However, it is all to do with the slipstream as well, and you've got to keep that in mind. It is 5 laps of slipstream. That's what you're really after here. So you can see here, lap number 2, and we're in the absolute exhaust here of Blue Racer. And you struggle to see. Notice how Blue Racer went towards the right, and suddenly a 787B appears out of nowhere. Now, this Nissan has a slightly higher top speed than the Mazda, so that's why most people are going to go for it. There we overtook somebody else then. I see Huggy up ahead, also in the Mazda. The Mazdas are dropping back here, and I just pulled out there just to see where I was, because I can't see a damn thing at this moment in time. We can do it again here, just to see where the corner is. I'm not necessarily going to go for the move here, but I need to be able to see. If I can't see, I'm going to absolutely send somebody to Narnia. Oh, hello. I think somebody got slight tap there on my left. I think that was Blue Racer. Even so, we make it through here in P4 with a couple of penalties up ahead. So we advance further on here, and you can see the penalties being taken by Ryoki. So we're up into P3. Laporte had one as well. Can Huggy get past Laporte before the Porsche curves? No, he cannot. Now, I did see that. I was like, oh, this could be a struggle. Now, the Mazda struggling through the right-hander there is Huggy. Over towards the left we go. The reason for that, Laporte is a top-level driver, and we really need to stay with Laporte as much as we can. But maybe we could do some teamwork on the Mulsanne to catch up to them. We will see. So, in towards the braking zone we go here at the chicane. Now, the lighting really does play a factor in terms of the brake markers. Huggy got that slightly wrong here. And as we go through the right there, you see a penalty for Huggy as well. We leave that corner in 3rd gear, which I will talk about on the lap guide as well. We're up into P2, but look at that gap. It is massive. Now, on the Mulsanne straight, lap number 3, look at this. I managed to brake enough here, but I did see the flash of lights from Huggy. So I was like, I'm going to stay in a straight line and keep going. And the Huggy did bump draft me there. Thank you so much, Huggy. I appreciate that. Part of TCR, of course, as we continue on through this right kink. And look at the gap now to Laporte. It starts to close massively here. We go on to the brakes then. As we get to Mulsanne corner, we absolutely nail that to perfection. And we continue on through. So that gap is coming down to Laporte. Unfortunately, I just was not driving very well at all. So I started to try and push on the final lap here, and I continue on through there. How wide was that Tetra Rouge? Well, it was a bit over the limit, unfortunately, and you're going to see why when I get the 0.5 second penalty. I did manage to drop everybody through the Porsche curves again, because obviously the Mazda struggles a bit more than the Nissan. According to here, I had a brain fart. I completely forgot my braking and broke well too late for the corner. So that's going to cost me some time, and that's going to mean JC is going to catch up to me here. So I've got a 0.5 second penalty. I take that, and we can see that car getting bigger and bigger and bigger in my rear view mirror. See, Laporte just absolutely gone there. I was absolutely Laporte, we nailed the middle sector there. Sorry, the Porsche curves sector, I probably should call it. It's not really the middle, but even so. The one with corners in, absolutely nailed it. Anyway, through the final corner we go, and we come on with P2 in the end. We'll play to Laporte. Fantastic race there. See, the Mazdas do drop down eventually. The Nissan definitely the superior car. A bit unfortunate that this race isn't more balanced. It's got 6 out of 10 in the end. All the details in a pinned comment. Hopefully, when you watch this, it's already there. But we'll see how we go with that one. It should be done on the Monday. Right, lap guide time. So I'm using +3 brake bands. You can see that on the right side. Now, in terms of this was actually rank 1 at the time, but there's plenty of time in this lap, so it probably isn't there now. Anyway, as we go in towards turn number 1, you've got, as the curb goes straight, notice I'm already hitting the brakes before I get to that point. These cars can actually brake very nicely as you turn, and I'll explain that a bit more later on at Indianapolis. You can use the total signs as well, but I use where the curb goes straight. I hit the brakes hard here at this moment in time, and then I'm going to stay in third gear. I go over towards the left-hand side, and then I'm going to accelerate through the right as much as I can. The more speed I carry, the more I get in the power band, and the more stable it'll be on the exit. It's a really weird one, but third gear is critical for that first chicane. So try and get used to that one accelerating through there, because obviously lower down in the power, you're not going to spin your wheels. For this left-hander then, on the right side, we've got that lamppost there. I brake just before that gets to the edge of my screen. Obviously a bit earlier if you're on chase cam before it hits the edge of your screen, but you can see what we're doing here. We hit the brakes, we turn in. We're going to clip the curb on the inside, accelerate as quick as you can over towards the right-hand side. Remember, it will understeer a little bit because you're getting in that power band now. And as we head to Tetra Rouge, we've shifted to 4th gear. The start of the tarmac on the right side, or where the blue paint is there. I want you to dab the brakes and then turn in. Remember, this car will understeer a little bit through this corner. It doesn't carry a lot of downforce, it just carries a lot of speed. So I'm going to dab the brakes and chuck it in and let the car roll and then accelerate as quick as I can. Hopefully, I stay on the curbs there, and then we accelerate all the way down Mulsanne at 218 miles an hour until we get to this point here. So we've got a Marshall catch fence on the right side. That's what I'm using. You can try and use the start of the curb. I know I've used that plenty of times, but I use that on the right side as my brake marker. I'm braking before it hits the edge of my screen, okay? Before it hits the edge of my screen on bumper cam. Obviously, adjust to your camera accordingly. I dropped to second gear now, and notice that I'm still turning on 100% brakes. So for this car, it can brake in a straight line and then start turning on 100% braking, and you'll be fine. The car remains stable. That's what I want you to try and do. And you're going to have to do that for Indianapolis, which is why I'm talking about it right now. So as I've turned in here, start of the curb is my brake marker. I'm just going to go 100% on the brakes and keep on turning. Yes, I can't turn as much, but the car still turns and the car remains fully stable. A little technique that you would want to learn for these Group C cars specifically. I stay in third gear then as I go towards the left. That's because I don't want the stability issues of second when I'm at the peak power band. Third gear will allow me to get to the power band quite quickly on exit. On the right side, we've got the Gantt sign now. I'm going to brake a little bit late for this one. I want you to brake a tiny bit earlier than where I'm braking now. But the middle one, there's 3. That is the middle one there. You want to brake before you get to that sign, okay? Now, in second gear here, as I turn in, notice that I just missed the apex a tiny bit. And it does cost me a tenth or 2 there. So then I'm accelerating in second gear, really hit the limiter. If you're hitting the limiter and it's bouncing off, just lift off a tiny bit. The wheels will stop spinning as much and you should have a bit more grip. That's another technique that you can use with these turbocharged cars. We head towards Porsche curves then. On the right side, we've got the first Goodyear sign. I want you to use that as a brake marker. So I'm going to dab the brakes. I'm pretty sure I go to 4th gear here. We'll find out in a second. But I want you to try and maintain 140 mile an hour as a minimum, okay? If you do that, you're going to do pretty well through the Porsche curves. And this is where a lot of the time can be gained. So I'm 150 there. Notice I dropped to 143. 140 minimum. Try and do that. We accelerate through the left-hander. We lift off then. We accelerate a little bit. And when the grass goes to tarmac on that left-hand side, it's basically as you go straight here. I'm going to dab the brakes and drop to 3rd gear. Now, you can stay in 4th if you're struggling with stability. Do keep that in mind. But I'm going to brake, and I'm going to trail brake a little bit just to try and slow the car down. I want to slow the car down a little bit. Notice there, I'm just dabbing the brakes, trail brake. There we go. Now I'm getting used to it. I start accelerating as quick as I can now. And on the right-hand side, where the white line is, it's curving and it goes straight. That is your turn left marker, or the RMC sign if you want to use that. It's your choice, but you can see it right there. So I'm showing you this early, so it's very observant. So, you know, very obvious, should I say. I lift off, I turn in, and then when I know I can make the corner, I accelerate through it. Lots of track limit penalties there in, well, to be specific, should I say, because that is where a lot of laps are going to get invalidated, and it's going to really annoy you. Now, I've got these lampposts on the right-hand side. Arguably, this smaller one is the one you want to use, okay? It's a perfect brake marker. As it hits the edge of your screen, hit the brakes. I kept trying to use the one past it, but it's a bit too late and you do the chicane all weird. So try and brake a bit earlier for this one, where that smaller lamppost is. Turn in and notice here now we can abuse this a little bit. I want you to stay in third gear here. And the reason for that is on the exit, you've got the gear delay change in these cars, okay? So third gear, you're not initially in the power band. You'll be in it very quickly if you nail it right. And then you can continue on through and do another lap if you really want to. Right, bloopers time. We're on board max power. Watch this as we go into this right-hander then. Mr. Slowly gives plenty of room there. Unfortunately, there's just the tiniest of taps. And these tiny taps are going to happen a lot in daily race A's. You're going to have to be careful. I'm pretty sure Sammy didn't even know that was he was the cause of that one, which is probably why Sammy didn't wait there. It's just one of those iffy moments, 3 wide, turn 1. Speaking of iffy moments, we're on board Arkies now as well. So there's me on the inside. Arkies is going to try and follow suit then as we go through this right-hander. Now, what happens here, to be precise? Oh, Arkies, ooh. I mean, arguably, there is some room there. I think Mr. Ronan maybe keeps the foot planted. Oh, tough one, that one. There is a bit of contact there, though, which does make the car a bit unstable there for Mr. Rona. So I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments. As we go into this right-hander then, Sammy's going to send it. And we have a bit of net code there because, yes, the front end's clipped, but they actually go through each other there. Very odd one, that one. By the way, I'm not having any go at Arkies, by the way. Arkies is a legend. Do check him out on YouTube. It's just I always like to hear different opinions. That's why we do Plebs of the Week as well. So here we are with Blue Racer. So obviously this is going to be the incident at hand. So we've got the French driver on the inside. And they just break that tiny bit too late, this Blue Racer. Instantly knows the mistake and is then just waiting up for everybody. So good sportsmanship there. And remember, if you have these kind of blooper moments, you want to share them, Plebs of the Week, there's a form down below in the description. Check it out. Just submit it and then I will have a look at it. I just wanted to show you this because you didn't see that much racing, but I can tell you now there's lots of racing. I did have a look at this one. Look at this, 3 wide, final lap. They're still going at it, everybody here. All different cars. Fantastic to see. Well played to everyone there for surviving the hairpin. We got aboard the Russian driver here as we go in towards this left-hander then. There's me. They got on the inside earlier on. Now, what actually happened is they had to lift a little bit. Then they got that understeer, which I talked about. That's why you turn in earlier. That's what I talked about in the lap guide. Because otherwise you get that understeer. And that's how they actually lost the gap then to me up ahead. Here's Norman then. So Norman's on the outside. Unfortunately, there's just a tiniest bit of contact there with Laporte, which just sends them off because they're going 3 billion miles an hour. And then you're going to see the gear shift change there. And then, yeah, it's actually at the peak of second, actually, with the power band. That's why I say use third a bit more on this one, because the power band can cause your car to spear off very quickly at the top end of it. Going to here then, Sammy just gets it a little bit wrong there and into the Russian driver. The nice thing here is Sammy's going to wait up for them. Gets a 2-second penalty, but continues to wait, which is very honourable indeed. Now this is what's going to happen. A lot of Mulsanne dive down the outside. Fortunately, Ghostin helped Jay-Z there. And we know we've raced Jay-Z a few times, so you can see Jay-Z managed to survive with a Ghostin. Thank you so much as always for watching. Do check out those partners down below. 2 videos there to check out, including Plebs of the Week from yesterday. Make sure you do give that one a watch. Please do subscribe if you enjoy all this content. And thank you so much for watching. And as always, I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.